clear my throat. Hey. All right. Before we start, go and give it about a minute or two. Let everybody get up in here. And then we'll start this game that we play. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for all of you being part of the solution. And this is definitely the solution to a lot of problems, without question. I love spicy foods, man. I'm sorry, but I love it. I always got to get a bite before I get started. All right, we're back here. The Mariangana Show. This week's theme, in case you don't know, but you should already know, is cheating a deal breaker? And the reason why we're having the discussion, because we need to start getting our ladies prepared for marriage and what it means to be productive men in a society. We're tired of broken homes, tired of broken relationships. We need to get out of this. And the way to get out of it and know how to stay in your relationship is to know what to expect and know how to work around it. You know what? I was just thinking of something. I don't know why it just came to my mind, but probably not even on the subject. When I first came to Ghana, when I first visited Ghana, stayed there for like 3 months. My first visit in April 2010. Came back later that year in the summer and then the winter. But it was a song on there. A song that was very popular back then. Haven't heard it in a while. I don't even know who's I don't even know the artist. I tried looking it up, but I couldn't find it. Y'all probably know it. It would go like, Asha woo girl. And I just love the way that it sounds, like the way that it rolls off the tongue. Like, Asha woo girl. And the girl that I was with at the time, I would start singing it. She's like, oh, don't say that. That's not very nice. Because I would call her my Asha woo girl. I had no clue what the hell it meant. I just knew that I liked the sound of it. And, then and there I found out what it means. And for you who don't know what it means like prostitutes. And it's weird. Because y'all gotta eat some curry and jerk together. It's spicy, but you'll love it. It's funny because for my 10 years in Nigeria and both Ghana, like in Ghana, I would hang out in Seiko, right there at Circle. I forget the name of the club that's there. But, oh man, what's the name of the club? It'll come to my mind. But, see, I came from like, the so-called hood or whatever. And, I grew up around a certain type of people. So, when I would hang around our Shawu girls, like, we'd be cool as hell. Didn't have to do anything like that with them or nothing, but just a generality of who they were, like the type of people they were. The one thing I really, really appreciate about being around those type of people, even though they're not looked upon greatly, is that their honesty, man. Whether I'm there or whether I'm in a corridor, off High Street, right up there hanging out with them, one thing they will give you is honesty. I mean, I had things said to me that, kind of took me back a little, might even hurt my feelings a little bit, but they was always direct and honest. And that's what I want to be with you guys. I always want to be direct and honest as much as possible, without meaning to hurt feelings, but to have the uncomfortable conversations that are needed to happen. And people think that you can have it all. As men, we know that we can have it all. We know that there's no such thing in life as having it all. We know that life is about compromise. Life is about people and relationships. We understand that as men. But for some reason, ladies think the opposite. And And that's why I think that in today's society, that things break down so easy in marriages. Because people have this concept that was sold to them from the media point of view, knowing that it's not true, but it would sell. It would sell books, it would sell records, it would sell whatever it is, sell publications or magazines. Take Beyonce for instance. As beautiful as some people may think she is, Beyonce she's beyond a multi-millionaire. More money than she know what to do with it. Husband also. Didn't stop her husband from cheating on her. Because he understood that he was a man and that's the life that he led before then. But even after cheating on her, she still stayed with her husband. She knew that there was more at risk of leaving due to so-called infidelity. So therefore she knew that it was more purposeful for her to remain in her marriage in order to build her family up and continue to build the legacy that they started with. Then you have on the opposite, girls like Rihanna. Rihanna will never be married. Rihanna have dated many types of men. All men with money. In her area that she deals with in the entertainment business, I mean, from the producers, the executive, to the corporate men, they all have money. But none of them was ever rushing to be with Rihanna as far as marriage. They would sleep with her, but they would never marry her. To the point that she had to go and have a baby out of wedlock. And the reason for this is because men who are productive men understand who is a wife and who is not a wife. You can't fool men who have something to offer. You can't fool them. They understand the type of woman that have something to give, and they understand the type of woman that is just a fun girl for the night or for the month or to keep a girlfriend until you're ready to find what it is that you're looking for. And that's a Rihanna. You got a lot of girls out here wanting to be Rihanna. But Rihanna has not been married, having a baby out of wedlock, been with so many men that no man is going to take her serious. If any men deal with her, it's just for them to get their public image out there more. But with Beyonce, no matter how popular she was, she dealt with the infidelity with her own husband, but she remained there because she knew that she had something special and the likelihood of getting it again would not happen. Oh man, I'm gonna have to wait till I do the show before I eat next time. But another thing is, the reason why she made that decision, because she understands some things. It's better to be in a relationship for life and deal with the adversities that come along than have to start all over again and have no guarantee of anything at all, of even ever being married again. And that's when a lot of women today are figuring out that when they go and divorce their husbands, they're realizing that there's no one else there. The only men that are there is men that will sleep with you, and that's about it. It's better, in the mind of a man, the way that we look at women, it's better for you to be a next wife than for you to be a baby mama. Let's rewind it. It's better for you to be a next wife than for you to be a baby mama. And I'm going to tell you why. A baby mama shows that you have no discipline. It shows that you're willing to give one of the most precious gifts to a man who is not willing to marry you. We look down upon that. We frown upon that. But being an ex-wife, if the fault of the divorce was because the man wanted out because he found someone else, we can look at that and say, at least we know she has a history of commitment. She has a history of choosing a man for marriage for the right purposes and not to go out and have hot girl summer and get pregnant and then turn around and start calling that man a loser. But then we ask you, you chose the loser. So that shows us your decision making is not correct, that your mindset is not correct to be with a man who is a productive man in society. Women have to start paying attention to these things. The way you operate and the decisions you make, we look at everything. And that's how we that's how we choose wives. We could choose a girlfriend based off looks. Most men choose girlfriends based off looks or what about the way that I look or the money that I have. What can I get? What type of girl can I get? They go out and get it. And then they hold that over. It becomes an anchor that we call it. It's like, just like if you heard of anchor baby, it's anchor girlfriends, meaning that we hold you around until we find out what it is that we're truly looking for. Because if a man hasn't married you within or proposed within 3 months, marriage date, ring, so forth, dowry, whatever it is, but something to show that this is legitimate and I'm putting a confirmation stamp on this and you don't have to worry about anything else, that this is the way we're going to go through life together. Other than that, he's just using you as an anchor. It's like having in-house sex. You live with a girl and you're together for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Man is already getting the benefits of a marriage anyway. And he doesn't take the next step because he doesn't feel that he has to. It's better for him just to wait it out. And I'm going to turn this off because this person is really annoying me right now. And this is something that we're going to talk about. But we're going to get into that next week. Next week, we're going to get into the maturity level of these women who are looking for marriage, as they say. Because a lot of them just are not. A lot of women today are like little children in adult bodies. Men see any and everything that you do. We pay attention when we're considering someone to spend the rest of our life with. We don't just jump in things. We observe, we analyze. We go with the probability and the possibility and determine what is the probability of this one being the type of woman that I want to spend the rest of my life with. Women go with the possibility. Oh, it's possible that this can do this or this could work out this way. Men are probability, women are the evermore possibility. Anything is possible in life. Pretty much anything is possible, but a lot of things are not likely, and that's the difference between the two species. So, getting into this, let's discuss, is cheating a deal breaker? And if so, why? All right? Let's see who we got.
Hello.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Fine. Who's calling?
Okay, this is Chidima from Nigeria.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How old are you? Chidima.
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 Yeah.
I think I'm saying it right.
Yeah.
Chidima.
Sorry?
Do I gotta say slow like that though? Or can I say it fast like Chidima?
No, it's slow. It's okay. 21.
All right. Well, anyway, each week we have a theme. And this theme week is, as I just stated a second ago, is cheating a deal breaker? What say you? Oh, sorry. Before I ask that, what part of Nigeria are you calling from?
Okay, I'm calling from Port Harcourt, River State.
River State. All right. Is cheating a deal breaker for you?
It's cheating a deal breaker for me. Okay. I would say cheating is not really a deal breaker for me, in the sense that um before, okay, let me say partner actually did that, and yes, I would be very, 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 very hurt and disappointed. But I think maybe depend on the kind of person you are. I would weigh maybe you're this kind of person, and then I find out that maybe you just found yourself in that kind of situation, and then okay, I'll let it slide. But if it's something you consistently do, no, 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 I won't take that.
All right, I
I'll
get you. So
just
you
leave
won't take
that
that.
person.
Let me ask you something. All right, we're gonna have a quick scenario real quick. So if you're, say, like, you see a hot guy, you want to date him, but he's working at he's a barber. He's a barber working for someone, or have his own barber shop or whatever. And you found out he consistently cheats. You're likely to leave him, would you not?
Sorry, will I like you to do what?
You have a boyfriend. I'm just giving you a scenario. You have a boyfriend. He's a barber. I'm just throwing any occupation out there. He's a barber, making small income. And you're together for 6 months and you find out this guy's been cheating a lot. What would you do?
Since it is like his lifestyle, that's how he does every time. I'll talk to him, try to like talk sense into him, and then maybe, and then if I see he cannot stop, this is just how he is. I'm sorry, I can't. No, no,
All right, let's take that
because
very.
he does it consistently, like consistently. No, it's not nice.
Okay, I get you. So we're going to
Mm.
take that very same scenario. What is your favorite actor, artist, musician, whatever? Name anyone that you like a lot, that you got a crush on, like a Van Victor, DeVito, whoever. I don't know.
Okay, in Nigeria here, I like Davido. Yeah.
All right, so let's stick with DeVito. DeVito runs into you on the street. DeVito says, I like her. I like her a lot. I want her to be my baby mom. I want to put her in a mansion. I want to make her life beautiful, make sure she doesn't have to worry for anything ever again in her life. But later down the line, you find out DeVito, the famous musician, is cheating on you. Do you go have a talk with him, just like you did with the barber? But DeVito doesn't stop. But financially, he's making sure that you have everything, and he's spending his time with you. Y'all raising your children. Would you still leave DeVito under those circumstances?
Yeah. I didn't like when people play around with my emotions. So seriously, I don't care about the financial whatever. I'm sure going to call it quits with him.
You sure
Yeah.
about that?
Since, yeah, I'm 100% sure because that is what he does every time. I can't know.
See, DeVito, I hope you're listening one day. But but listen, I hope you listen, DeVito. You heard what she said, so.
Okay.
So playing that game,
Yeah.
if Beyonce thought like you, Beyonce will have her 2 or 3
Sorry?
kids. If Beyonce had the same mentality as you, Beyonce would be a divorced woman with 2 or 3 of her kids and no husband and no father figure in the house.
Do you see? I don't think Jay-Z was like making it a consistent life. I don't think so.
Well, we only know what
I
we're
remember when
told.
I heard about that
Yeah,
in
we know what we told, but we know that men who are in that financial gap tend to do whatever. Take Bill Gates. Let's go with Bill Gates. Bill Gates had another lady on the side for 15 or 17 years, but his wife still stayed because she understood the consequences of leaving. And it wasn't until Bill Gates was ready to just be with the woman on the side, primarily and only, that she agreed to give him a divorce. But for them 17 years, she stayed because she knew the financial consequences, and she knew wrecking her home would hurt the prosperity of her children. So she waited till they got old enough to handle it deal with them, have their own families and move about. But what I'm saying is that there are certain type of women that understands that is a bigger issue, is a bigger picture. See, ladies today want to think that it's all about you. It's not all about you. It's all about family more so than anything. And it's all about your legacy and what you pass down to your generation. Women today, and we're going to come back to this because I understand an obsessive cheater, someone who does it constantly and doesn't want to do anything else and doesn't want to get better. I get that. We're going to get to that discussion. But the whole objective of this conversation and this thing week is that we need to start encouraging our women to stay in their relationships no matter what. Back in the day, you have a mother and father. Are they still alive?
Yeah, yeah.
Are they still married?
Yeah.
How long have they been married, you know?
Over 23 years.
Long time, 23 years. That's good of them. Now, in 23 years, living in Nigeria, do you think that there has been no issues with your parents, issues that you might not even know about? As far as infidelity?
Yeah, there have been issues, yeah.
But they're still together.
They resolve them.
Exactly,
Yeah,
they resolve them. So the benefits of staying together outweighs the need for divorce, do it not?
Hmm?
The benefit of staying together and working through matters is greater of a benefit than divorcing.
Okay. Yeah, yes. That's true.
So if they would have divorced, they would have split. Your mom would have not been able to have whatever type of lifestyle she has with your dad. Do they pay for your schooling?
Sorry?
Are you in school? Are you in school?
Yeah, I'm in school, yes.
Who pays for it? Your
They
parents?
pay for my school. Yes. They do.
Now, they divorced and the man had to live a whole different life with another family and your mother with you. Do you think you would still be in this position?
Not really, no.
Okay. So again, the benefits of staying in your marriage outweighs the other option, is what I'm trying to get at. Not just to you, but for the people listening. You get me?
Yeah.
All right. So
You see,
go ahead.
sorry, I didn't get you. I think network here. You
I
said
said,
the benefits of what? Yeah.
I said once more, I'm just making a point to the audience that the benefits of remaining in your relationship, regardless of it's infidelity on a man's part, is going to benefit you more than leaving.
Okay. Yes. Yes, you're right.
And
Yeah.
to me, this is what I say. There are three types of cheaters. We just stick with the three types of cheaters. Before we get to that, are you single?
Yeah, I am.
How many failed relationships so far?
Sorry, how many what?
Failed relationships.
Nah.
You still counting?
None. Sorry?
No, you were
I think
taking.
none. That is not.
How old are you?
No.
All right. I think she work on a network. All right, let's see if we can get her back real quick. I'll give her a quick second. All right, there she go. All right, let's see if we can get her back real quick. If not, I'm going to move on to the next, but we got to give her a chance. All right, this is why I brought up the Beyonce and the Bill Gates matter. A lot of ladies are learning today that the decisions they made 5, 10 years ago to go out and divorce their husband. And the thing is here, they will say that, oh, my husband cheated. It could be one time and the lady is already ready to divorce. Because ladies have been told that men are supposed to be with one person for the rest of their life. Even though there's nowhere in all of the genetics of a human being when it comes to a man that says that. The world was produced by men being polygamous because men are polygamous by nature. Now, it determines what type of man you want. As men get older, they move away from those things. A man in his 20s is not going to move away from that. A man in his 20s is always going to still be moved to go and be a man. A man in his 30s is going to be moved to be a man. And only when you get to your 40s, 50s, 60s, and all that stuff doesn't mean anything to you because you've spent so many years building up family structure with the person that you're with. I don't know what happened to her, but we got, let's see, let's have her join. So you guys, good evening.
Good evening.
Name?
Sherry Issa,
Calling from?
calling from Ghana.
Where from? Eastern region.
Of Ghana, yes.
All right. Welcome to the show. You okay? Hello? All right. Ghana, we got to get Ghana to get that 5G. They still working with the 4G, so we're going to have to get Ghana. Yo, y'all talk to Nana out there and tell them to put some money up so y'all get that 5G satellite. Anyway, I'll see you back. Well, you said your name is Sherry, right?
Yeah, Sherry.
All right, what do you have on tonight's subject, Sherry?
Okay, so you are talking about is cheating a deal breaker, right?
Correct.
Okay. So with me, I would say cheating is not necessarily a deal breaker, but then if the cheating is chronic, then it's a deal breaker because you can't be with someone who is constantly cheating on you. Then it means it's part of the person. The person would never change. But if you're with someone and let's say mistakenly or it just happened, that shouldn't be a reason
No,
for you
first
breaking
of all,
up.
nothing just happened. I don't know what that means. What do you mean, but it just happens? Like they say, do you fall and slip and a man fall into somebody, you know what? I mean, that's just happening. Like, damn, I tripped. Oh, sorry, I slid up in you. Didn't mean to do that, but I'm here now, so I might as well finish. I mean, what is just,
Yeah,
it's no such thing as just happening. You understand that,
okay,
right?
so
But go
I
ahead, I'm
get
gonna let
it.
you go. I'm gonna let you talk.
Okay. So I made that statement because a man would cheat and he'll be like, I wasn't intentional, I don't know how it happened, like those excuses.
Well, that sounds like
That's
a boy.
fine.
Men don't talk that way.
Really?
Boys talk that way.
Because
Men
I've
don't
heard
talk
that
that way.
before. I've heard that before.
Yeah, I used to say that when I was in my 20s, when I was a little boy, growing up
Okay.
trying to become a man. Men don't talk
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
Have you ever been cheated on?
Yes.
How many times, if you don't mind?
Once.
Um, that was the line that he gave you?
Come again.
Was that the line that he gave you that it just happened?
Has actually he said it just happened. Later he said because we are in a distance relationship, we hardly see each other. So he had no option than to do that. That was
Had
the
no other
excuse he
options.
gave.
So he couldn't go take his left hand and beat himself and put some KY jelly on it. So he didn't have those options to go masturbate. You see, doesn't make sense. How old was the guy, if you don't mind me asking? All right, Cheetah Ma, hold on though. But talking to the last girl that was here. Go ahead. Are you going to answer the question?
For now, I don't have a question for now.
No, I said, are you going to answer the question? I said, how old was the guy?
He was 27.
And how old were you at the time?
I was 22.
All right, 22, 27. Playing a
Yeah.
young man's game. First of all, men in their 20s do not stay with one woman for the rest of their life. I don't care if they get married at a young age or not. It doesn't happen.
Okay.
Y'all try to force men to be something that they're not. And that's why y'all continue to get your heart broken. Instead of going into a situation and weighing the options of it. This man, you're not married, right?
No,
So evidently he didn't marry you. Who broke off the relationship?
I did.
Because of what? The cheating?
Not because of the cheating, but then I realized I couldn't forgive him, not because he cheated, but because of the reason he gave. So I had
So
to call it off.
if he would have just said to you, yes, I cheated, I love you, but this is me being a man. And as I go through these years with you, all that stuff would be out of my system. But like I said, we're going to grow together and make a family together. Would you have stayed if he would have came with that?
Yeah, sure. Why not? If it's convincing enough, why not? I would have.
So you only left him because of the way he described it. Doesn't really make a lot of sense, though. I'm just saying.
Because to me, it felt like he's kind of playing with me, like playing mind games with me because of the
So he
reason he
wasn't
gave.
serious. But just say he wasn't serious.
Yeah,
Say he was playing a fuckboy position. He wasn't a serious man that will have led to marriage. Let's leave
exactly.
it at that. All right.
Okay.
All right. So going on your own understanding or what you said, that cheating is not a deal breaker, but you would want someone who doesn't do it so often, basically.
Exactly.
When did it become called cheating? Because you're from Ghana. I mean, generations before you, it was called polygamy, and it was accepted because that's the way that men were able to reproduce and fill a village up or fill a town
Yeah.
or make a whole society about that. Are you a believer in the Bible?
Yeah, sure.
Since biblical days, men have always been the same.
Okay.
Even from Adam, even from Cain and Abel. After Cain slayed at Abel, what did Cain go do? He went to be with his sisters, not a sister, but with his sisters to reproduce with them all. Abraham
Yeah.
had concubines, but he had his wife who he loved. But the concubines was in order that the women of the town or the women of the villages didn't starve because there was never enough men. Since society has been in existence, there have never been enough men for women since the start of time. So this is why they did what they did back then. When you go to Solomon, 400 wives, 300 concubines. I don't know why he did it. Hey, he was a man. But are we down? Even if you go to the New Testament, it talks about the qualifications to be a pastor, which was You have to be a man of one wife and a man who is free of controversy, among other things. The reason they said that because the culture was that men were able to have more than one wife and concubines. But the reason they did that is for the very thing that goes on today, because men with power and being a leader over a people brings a man power. And they knew that. The Lord understood that if I allow this to continue to go as is, you have these men who are so-called leaders over the flock taking the wives of other people.
Okay.
So that's why there were certain qualifications to be in certain positions. But never did the Bible say that a man has to be only with one wife if he's not a leader. It says that a man will be with his wife and become one. A lot of people say that, but if you go back to earlier texts, it also says when a man lays with a prostitute, he becomes one. One, translated from the Hebrew and the Greek, means to lay or being sexually active with a person. So that's why I use the same terminology for when a man deals with a prostitute as the same that when a man's dealing with his wife. It was about sexual intercourse. But never in scripture did it said that a man should only be with one woman. It never said that. We turned it into that. Because your generations before never practiced that. It's not until now, until y'all started colluding with the Western world and taking on their traditions. And now, instead of keeping what had already worked, now you're tied up in something that doesn't work. And that's why y'all find your heart broke all the time. You ever think about that?
Very true.
But I understand that it's difficult because when you're raised with that, it's difficult to try to turn it around again. That's something that you have to know from a small age. That's why, like the Muslim community in Ghana, those women, they can accept that the men have 1, 2, or 3 wives, as long as they know they're being provided for and the needs are being provided for. You don't see them bickering, saying, "Oh, I got my heart broke." You don't see none of that going on. But their communities continue to flourish. But yet, we're fighting against it's like we're fighting against nature because of the way that we was taught in this generation and the generation past. This is why you have so much divorce, so many divorces, and so many broken families. I say this, in Black America, 80% of children are born out of wedlock. In Black America, 1 out of 4 female will ever marry. Out of that, 1 out of 4, 65% will end in divorce. Out of that 65%, 80% of those who file for divorce are the women because of infidelity. Now you have a broken people that are financially inept to do anything in a country that they have no power, no political power, no financial power, that they will, because the families are broken. What happens when you keep a mother and a father and the children together, you're able to build an income structure and buy land, buy property, send the kids, get an education, and pass that down. Then the new generation do even better and continue to flourish. That's how it's supposed to work. But all this getting divorced because of infidelity is what's destroying all of Black people today. And we're not in a position where we can afford to do this, but we do it anyway, knowing that it's going to continue to destroy our home, destroy our financial ability to do anything. Now, I'm not trying to tell you to turn life around and say, go accept a man that's going to have 10 wives. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying understand who men are. Do you want to be married?
Yeah, sure.
How old did you say you were?
24.
How many failed relationships?
3.
3 at 24. Which one lasted the longest?
The second relationship.
How long? I mean, let's let her get back. See? That's what I'm telling Nana. You got to invest that money, brother. All right, we got, what's the name back? Yeah. I don't like jumping back and forth because it's not really going to be good for the conversation. But I know that the network and all, but let me see. I'm going to get you ahead, Chi. Just hold on. Just give me 1 second. I already started with her, so let me finish and I'll get to you soon. Man, let's go. All right. Are we here? Are we there yet? 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 Oh, no. Shut the hell up. Y'all ain't see that movie? It's called Are We There Yet with Ice Cube. Try it one more time. Let's give it one more time before we go back to Chi. So, see if we can get her back in one more time. All right. So, I just wanted to get to a few questions with her, and before I let her go for the night. But she, at the very least, she understands that the way things are today, it's going against nature. It's going against the very structure of life that we once had that kept our communities building and flourishing. The very way that we were able to keep families together, men would be the authority figure and go out and do what they do, make sure that they did enough to provide for the wife and the children and produce productive children. But now it's nearly impossible to do that for the utmost when it's a single parent home. This is the evidence of it. We're seeing the evidence of it today that single parent home does not work. And you can always have somebody come here about, what about this situation? What about that? I'm not talking about anecdotal experiences or situations or a story that you heard. We're talking about the overall group, the overall people. We know that it does not work. We know that because of the failing of families today, that everything is out of order and out of whack. Ladies do not know how to stay in their marriages anymore. There's such a dream, whether it's from Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TV, television, these movies or whatever. I remember back in the day when African movies were legitly about real issues. Now today, when you look at Nollywood, it's all about bullshit. It's all about, oh, my mechanic was a billionaire or a king and a prince and I didn't know, and now I'm in love. All dumb shit. Things that don't even happen in life. And these children today are feeding off. And that's why they're coming up with these strange concepts of life and how it should be. And it's polluting their minds. It's not doing anything good for them. So we don't have her back. Let's go back to Chi. You got to get back to the basics, people. All right, there you go.
Good evening. I had issues with my network earlier.
All right, there's no problem. You don't have to explain to me. Explain that to your network provider. But anyway, where did we leave off? You remember?
Okay, yes, you were asking me about relationship. Yes, yeah. If I have been in any, and I said no, I haven't.
And how old are you again?
Because of certain personal reason.
Do you mind? I mean, I'm inquiring minds. I like to know. Personal reasons meaning.
Okay. Some certain reasons, like I don't feel like I'm yet like ready. Yes, ready emotionally and psychologically, but I'm still working on myself on that. Yeah.
How old are you?
Sorry?
You say you're 21?
Yes, yes. It doesn't sound obtainable, right?
No, but I'm just saying that may look a little older,
Okay.
but at the same time,
I have like a big body, that's why.
hmm?
Sorry.
What did you
Like
say?
I think I have a. Okay, I said I have a grown up kind of body stature. That's why.
Yeah. All right. I hear it. But your mindset is not grown up.
Hmm?
I can't see your face.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
I said you may have an adult stature, but you've already stated that your mindset is not that of an adult yet.
My mindset is like an adult own, but when it comes to relationship, you have to be prepared before going into it. You have to like know the what you're going in for before going for it.
Well, that's what your years from 10 years old to 18 were supposed to be about.
I didn't get you. You said what?
When you were 10, between the ages of 10 and 18, those years was just for that, for you to get yourself ready. Why,
Yeah,
why
yeah,
do you,
yeah.
why do you wait till you're
And
21?
another reason is I come from a very, 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 very strict home. Like my African parents are very, 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 very strict when it comes to all this kind of thing. They believe you have to or that's maybe when you're ready for marriage, then you can talk about this kind of like that. Yeah. I come from a very
So,
strict African home.
okay, I understand that. I know Nigerians. I've lived there for years. I've lived in Ghana for over a decade now. So I understand the culture. At what age do they expect you to be married?
Sorry? Okay,
At what
the
age
age
do
they
they?
expect me to be married.
Yes,
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, they told me, my mom said 25, 24.
which is correct. At first of all, at the age of 21, you're going to have options that you won't have at 24, 25 also. You do know that, right?
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
At the age of 21, you will never have greater options now than you will later. The older you get,
Yeah,
the less options you have. Because I
yeah,
don't know what
that's
type of
true.
man you want, but we're going to get into that. You want to be married, so evidently you want to be married. You want to have children?
Yeah, yeah.
How many?
Yes, I do. Like four, three,
How many?
four or three.
How many?
I said like four or three children.
That's not an answer. How many?
I want like 4 to 3 children.
I'm going to ask you one more time. It's either 4 or it's 3. That's an answer. One or the other is an answer. 4 or 3 is not
Okay,
an answer.
okay. Four. Okay, sorry about that. Four. Four.
All right. You want to have 4 children. What do you study in
Yes.
school?
Okay, biotechnology.
No, biotech. Biotech is not
Yeah.
going to bring you in enough income to provide for 4 children.
Yes, you're right about that.
And also, if you're from a strict family, you know not to have children out of wedlock.
Yes, yes, you're right. Yes.
So now you have to find a husband that can provide for 4 children.
Yes, you're right.
I'm sure
That's
you don't
true.
want to live in poverty, right? Doing this.
No, 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 sir.
Are you willing to work part-time or full-time, or do you want to be a stay-at-home mom?
Okay, I want to like be a stay-at-home mom at first and then look at my children, how they grow up.
So you want to be a stay-at-home mom, basically.
Yes, yes.
All right. So then you need, regardless of what country you live in, you need a man who is in the upper class to be able to provide for a wife and raise up 4 children.
Yes, you're right.
How tall are you?
Sorry?
How tall are you?
Okay, 5, 6 feet. Yeah.
5'6". How much do you weigh? Last time you weighed yourself?
Okay, the last time I weighed, I was 80.
80.
80 kg. Yes.
You know what? I'm going to have to print out a kg chart. No, seriously, I'm going to have to print out a chart so I can keep it right here and I can stop having to go type. Give me 1 second. So let me get the translation of that. All right. All right, so now we're talking about pounds here. So you're 5'6", 80 kgs, 176 pounds. You're a bit on the heavier side of women, right?
What did you say?
I said you're a bit on the heavier side at 176 pounds.
I'm not big. I'm not big. I'm not big. No.
But you said 80 kg is a obese woman.
It's not obese.
You gave me 80 kg. I didn't give you. You told me 80 kg.
Yeah, I'm 80 kg, but it's not obese. I'm not obese.
80 kg shows that it's almost 180 pounds, which is extremely
like I have
overweight
big
for a woman.
bones. It's not like I'm obese or some. Sorry?
80 kg shows almost close to 180 pounds.
I have big bones. I'm not big. I'm not big. Like, I'm not big or obese. No, I'm not. I'm just.
I've seen your picture, but you don't even know how much you weigh.
I have big bones. I know how much I weigh. I haven't written it down on my. I wrote it down on my diary the last time I checked. I don't know if it's the person that checked me or something.
Yeah.
It's just someone that came around.
I'm looking at the chart. I'm on Google chart. It's not going to lie to me. It says you're almost at 180 pounds. 180 pounds is extremely large for a lady. Extremely large.
Oh my God.
You gave the weight. You gave the numbers.
Sorry?
You gave me the numbers. I just typed it in. It's telling me you Big Bertha.
Okay, you see my picture, so I'm not obese or big. I think it's from who? It's from. Okay. I think maybe I forgot my chick because it was a long time.
You see the older woman that y'all call Obolo?
What?
Do you see the big woman that y'all call Obolo woman?
No.
What do y'all? I'm trying to think. What you in Nigeria? All right, I'm thinking of Ghana. In Ghana, they say Obolo. Obolo means huge, big.
Okay, you see my picture. I think maybe the calibration from when she was shaking me, like maybe it was not correct or something. I don't know. Yeah, something like that.
I just hope you ain't pay her for that. That's all. All right.
I think she gave me the wrong information. I'll go and check it again.
Yeah, judging from your pictures, you're around 60 kg. So we're gonna go with that. You're about 60 kg, so we're gonna go about that. I can tell by your pictures you're about 138 pounds. I'm good with numbers when it comes to bodies of women. So when you specialize like I do, You know so. But listen. All right. So you're 5'6". I'm giving you about 138 pounds, which is a nice shape. Most men love that shape. No problem with it. Do you care what your husband is? Do you care what color, what race?
Okay, do I care what color or race he is?
That your husband would be?
No,
All right.
not
So
really.
he could be white, black, Latino, Asian.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
I'm asking you. You don't gotta say yeah. I mean, tell me what you want. If I was God,
Okay, I prefer I like black men. Yeah.
do your parents want you to marry a Nigerian man?
Not just a Nigerian man, just they said either Nigerian man or anyone, but a black person, a black man.
All right. So they said they want precisely a black man, but you open to everything. All right. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, as long as it's for the right reasoning, that you really care for the person. You know what I mean? All right.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking to you now. You're gonna need not a middle income. You're gonna need an upper class individual who makes about 250,000 more. The majority of men don't make that money anywhere in the world. In the world, or let's just stick with my country, because that's what I'm here for. Do you mind if it was a black American?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I mean by black man, like black American, Nigerian, African. It's okay.
Nigerian men are very close to black American men in the way that we are. Not everything about us the same, but we have a lot of similarities. That's why I get along with Nigerians so
Yeah.
easy. But okay, let's stick with if he's a black man first. Then we go elsewhere later. All right. So you would need a man making about for 4 children. You want to live in the suburbs, of course, right?
Yeah.
All right. So 4 kids, 250,000. The majority of men that make $250,000. And in the black races, I think it's about 2 or 6. Let's say below 10%. I know it's below 8%. I don't know why the numbers escape me, but I know it's below 8%. So 8% of the men make the type of money that you would need them to make for them to be able to provide for a wife and 4 children and live in the suburbs. With that said,
Yes. Yeah.
what would that type of man, a high earning man, what would make him look at you and say, you know what, I want her and not them out of everybody else?
Okay, what qualities would I have that will make him not want to choose me over everyone else out there? Okay. I'll say I have very, very, very patient person, and I can tolerate a lot. Like I tolerate a lot, and
How do you
I
know?
believe
Hold on,
in.
before you finish, how do you know you can tolerate a lie if you've never been in a relationship?
Okay, I'm talking about in life. Like I'm not talking about
No, we don't
relationships.
care about how you treat life outside of us. We're talking about if you marry
Okay.
us today, what can you offer us as a wife? You don't know
Okay,
what
what I
patient or
can
not because
offer.
you've never been tested when it comes to patience inside of a marriage or a relationship. So you can't use that.
Okay, okay. So you said, what can I offer in the marriage? I would, my love, support, um, my earnest prayers for you to be a better person. My A lot of other things I could think of I could offer. Yes,
All right. I'm going to go down the
love,
checklist for you.
support, understanding.
I'm going to help you out.
Sorry?
I'm going to help you out on this, all right? All right, man. I don't know what's wrong with Instagram. We definitely got to see. We could talk to IG so we can stay on here at least 2 hours because this 1 hour nonsense is straight BS. But let's get her back here so we can straighten this out. I'm gonna help her out. Seems like a very nice girl, and I can see something happening for her. So let's try to figure this out for her, fellas, and ladies out there. Yeah, let me see. Hang on. Yeah, we know. We're getting everybody in. Come back, come back, come back to me. This is a song by Keith Sweat that I used to listen to when I was like a teenager. Like, come back to me. Come back, baby, come back. All right, I'm waving at y'all. All right, I'll see y'all. All right, go ahead, Shay. Go ahead, Chi, I'm waiting for you. All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, I'm gonna let you know. The majority of everything you said, a man who's making $250,000 a year, he could get that from anybody. I said the majority of what you said, the man that makes that type of money could get that from just about any woman.
Okay.
When a man asks you, what do you have to offer? If this is what you got to go with, he's going to look at it like, okay. I like that, but let me see if I can find even better. You know what you should have started with?
No, I didn't know.
I'm going to tell you what you should have started with. Your first thing should have started what you started with me, that I come from a very strict family, and my parents have held me over for the proper time and the due time when I'm ready to become a wife, so that I could offer my husband all the gifts that a traditional woman is supposed to offer a man. Are you still a virgin?
Sorry?
Are you still a virgin?
Okay, you said am I still a virgin?
Yes or no?
Yeah.
Why didn't you start with that?
This is a very live show, so it's
Doesn't
not
matter,
things
because
you talk.
the men who make the type of money that you need them to make are going to watch this. They're going to want to know. They need a reason that they could come to me and say, hey, you know what? I really find this woman appealing, and she has all the qualities that I can't find in another woman. So therefore, I'm serious about this. Let me get in touch with her. Put me in touch, whatever. That's how this works.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know. Okay, I just
Yes,
found
that's how
out
this
now.
works. This video, we start our first promo on Saturday. We're doing a big time expensive promo throughout YouTube and Instagram, everywhere started Saturday. We're going around doing talks, whatever. Tens and hundreds of thousands of people over the course of weeks are going to see this interview. You're going to have men who make this type of money and say, hey, everything she just stated is everything that I want. How do I touch base with her? Then I check to make sure they're serious before sending just anybody towards someone way. That's how this works. That's why you're here. So forget what everybody else might hear. If they ain't serious about being a $250,000 earner and providing for you and making you a wife, they don't matter. You're here trying to get the rest of your life situated and the outcome in life that you want. Stop worrying about everybody else. Again, when you speak to these men, you lead with that you brought up in a strict home. Were you raised to be a traditional wife? To be submissive to a man and his authority as the man?
Yes.
All right, so your parents
I was raised like that.
All right, so your parents kept you away from going out doing all the nonsense and losing things that you can't offer your man. You're able to offer your husband to be your virginity. That's golden to a man who makes that money. You didn't give it away to just somebody on the street who can't marry you and provide for you. They take that, they look at that and say, you know what? This woman has a head on her shoulder and she gets it. She understands that our future is at risk by making bad decisions. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying now.
So yes, that's what you lead with when they call upon you. And they will come calling. They will get in touch with you. They will touch down with you. You just got to pick and choose which one you feel is right for you. If so be it. But if you have something special, you lead with that. You start off with your family and how you was raised and the fact that you kept yourself pure. With that, you'll have a husband. You'll be married before the end of the year if you want. You're not going to find that girl in America. You're 21. You're not going to find a virgin 21-year-old in America. You're not going to find anybody who was raised by both parents and mother and is a virgin and have their head on their shoulders and understand that they have to make sure that they're going into the marriage with the right frame of thought, frame of mind. Everything that you are, regardless of looks, I'm not even talking about your looks right now. Everything that you are is the very thing that men today are looking for. That's why I'm here. I'm giving them a voice and I'm giving them the opportunity to see. I dealt with Africans for the last 12, 13 years of my life. No Americans, no anything. I dealt with solely African women. And the more and more I talk to people, individuals, they understand. And they say, you know what, Stephen, help me find something, like you have. I'd be willing to treat that, marry that, do whatever. They're tired of the nonsense. They're tired of the feminism. They're tired of the woman who's out there talking about, I'm going to get my education first, and when I turn 35 years old, I go look for my dream guy. Men don't want that. Men who make that type of money that you're talking about, upper class individuals, they want a 21-year-old who was raised with a mother and father who understands the concept of marriage. They're willing to go out of their way, get on planes, go meet dad and mom and say, hey, do I have the right to, do I have the authority, or do you give me permission to propose to your daughter in order that I make her a wife? That's what happens here on this platform. I used to do this 12 years ago when I first got to Ghana back in 2010. Go look it up on my YouTube. You will see old videos back in 2010 and 2011 of me doing the same thing, but I was doing it in person. I was getting people married back then before I went another route when technology came. Because I felt when God used to send me over there to check out if a girl is who they say they are, that was one thing. But then we got the new technology with the cams, phone cams and all that. So I left that business. But now I see that even more so as a necessity for me to do this work. That's why I'm here. You have a lot to offer. Men are going to come out of the woodworks for you. On the scale of 1 to 10, what would you give yourself? On the scale of 1 to 10, what would you give yourself as far as, did we go through this? We went through this, did we?
Yeah.
And what did you say? On a scale of 1 to 10?
Okay, you said on a scale of 1 to 10, what will I say about words?
Oh, we didn't go through. What would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10?
What would I rate myself?
That's your looks. Your looks alone.
Okay, based on my looks.
Just your looks. Men are visual. The first thing we see is how you look. Then we start to uncover everything else.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would rate myself 8.5.
So you better look into Beyonce.
Okay, you have my picture there, so.
Beyonce, in Black America, Beyonce is considered an 8. a solid 8.
Mm.
Rihanna is considered a 7.
I rate myself like that. I rate myself like that. You see my picture? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I give you a 7. Do you know what a 7 is?
No, I don't know.
The average looking individual. 80% of people or more are average looking on the face of the earth. This very earth that we walk on, the majority of people, no matter the country, no matter the race, are average looking people. Do you understand that point?
Yes, yes.
Anything over 5 means you're better looking than the average person. When you go to a 7, that means you're twice as better looking than the average person, which is a good thing. The majority of people walking around are not 7s or above. And there's really no such thing as a 10 anyway. But as a 7, not just solely on your looks, but because you're a 7, you was brought up in a strict home, you understand the concept of marriage, you were raised to be a traditional wife, and you still have your purity. That puts you in the position to have the very outcome that you want. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
She won her prize.
Thank you.
We got the first prize winner of the week. No, we had others.
Thank you.
We had others, but yeah. So congratulations. The very outcome that you want in all likelihood, but hopefully by this platform, but yes, you're likely to get it. So now, let's go to the last aspect of this conversation. And this is the last part of this conversation. There's 4 and 3, 3, 4. In football, you ever heard of American football?
Yeah, I've heard of American football.
Okay, in defense, there's 11 men on the field. 11 men on defense, 11 men on offense. They play a 4-3 or 3-4 normally. I call this the 4-3. There's 4 types of men. No matter where you're going like this, 4 types of men financially. You have the lower income, which are people who work dead-end jobs or not in position to really make anything of themselves. So they really can't take care of a family, let alone themselves. I don't deal with them. This platform is not for them. So they don't watch this platform. The other 3 are what this platform is for. The middle class, the upper class, and the elite. The elite can be anything from rich to wealthy. So if you're not wealthy but you're rich, you still good. Take care of a family. You know that. So that's why I don't get into all the differences in them. So middle class is for an individual, 2, 3 kids maybe, house in the suburbs, his or her car, and that's about it. Y'all might both have to work, or he work and you work part-time, but that's not what you want. You want to stay home. You want the man to be able to provide enough, have 4 children. Likely you want them to go to college, right? You would want your children to be able to go to university, right? College.
Yeah, sure.
And you would want to travel, be able to travel here and there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you want that upper class lifestyle. You don't want the middle class. You just want the upper class, which is fine. But guess what? With that comes something. It comes a stipulation a lot of times. Now, after the 4 I just mentioned, there's 3 types of men. I'm just generalizing it. There are 3 types of men. Men who are productive, strong men have egos. We are egotistical. That's just what it is. That's how men are built. If you want a strong man and not a weak beta male man, this is what you're going to deal with. In all likelihood, I'm just generalizing it so you can be prepared and ready. God can do something totally different. You could get a man who's been out there, cheated all his life, and just turned his life around and truly want to be dedicated and want one woman. It happens. But I say this because I need my ladies, my Black African sisters to be prepared for anything. I'm going to give you 3 types of men, and I want you to choose which one you want when it comes to men burgeoning outside of their marriage. The first man is number 1 guy. This man is, what's the word that I use? I forget the terminology that he used, but he's a obsessive cheater. I mean, this is what he does. He's very promiscuous. He goes out and cheat a lot. Most men who live this type of lifestyle do it for one purpose, in order to feel like a man. And the reason I say that is because when men cannot provide financially the way that they desire to for themselves and others, in order to make themselves feel like a man, a lot of men go out and have sex with a lot of women because that's the only way they can feel like a man. Now,
How? Yes, sir.
I'm telling y'all game that y'all don't even know. That's why this platform is going to be so influential. Number 2 guy is the productive man in society. He goes out, he's ambitious, he makes sure that he makes enough to provide for a family and do his thing. He keeps his home together. Nothing can come between that. But here and there, he will have flings outside of his marriage, but he never allows it to interact or cause any damage to his home structure that he has with his wife. You understand it?
Yeah.
Guy number 3 is the guy who is wealthy enough to not just have a wife and children and do all the things that we already spoke about, but he could go out there and get another wife and another wife, maybe 1 or 2 wives, and provide for them just as well. So out of those 3, which guy would you choose? Guy 2, guy 3.
That's a tough one there, but okay, guy 2.
All right. And why is that?
Guy 2 doesn't allow his outside life of having side concubines to affect his relationship with his wife. He just keeps it outside and doesn't like try to rub it to the wife's face or try to like interrupt his marriage life. Yeah.
Exactly. And the majority of men who make $250,000 or anything close to it, in all likelihood, are not just going to be with one woman for the rest of their life. You do get that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do.
Yes, men who are sought after by millions, tens of thousands of women, they may love their wife and keep their home in order, but yes, they're still going to be a man. The difference is what you said, that their family structure continues to go on. The order continues. Everyone is taken care of. The legacies and the land and whatever else that y'all built on is passed down. Your children make a name for themselves. Y'all make a name for yourselves. This is the way life has always been in the past when you dealt with high-earning men. It used to be that way long ago, not too long ago. But in order to have that type of lifestyle you're talking about, this is what you may have to deal with. You have to understand that men do not love the way that you love. Y'all love through your heart and that feeling of emotion and what's between your legs when, you're love making. That's when y'all have all that affectionateness of love. Men don't love that way. High earning quality men do not love that way. We love with our minds and our ability to provide and protect and direct our home. That's how we show we love our wives and children. The sooner y'all understand this, the sooner that we can have a positive relationship or marriages that last to the end of time, to the end of our days. And at least here, when worst come to worst, man passed away, we leave life insurance policies. We leave all that. We make sure our kids and our wives have something, no matter in a worst case scenario. These type of men will provide for theirs for a lifetime. That's what we do. But you have to be able to understand us. Once you're able to understand us and accept us, we can give you everything that the world has to offer when we walk in the door of our own homes. You understand me?
Yeah, I do understand you. Yeah.
All right, well, tell mom and dad that you might have someone coming home to meet them soon. So, like I said,
No problem.
when this happened, just like I tell anybody, when all like I said, there's going to be men who will contact you through me. Pick one, choose one, find one that you have the attraction to. Be ready to build with them, and I can always be here, for advice. Excuse me. I'm a
Sorry about
qualified
that.
psychologist. Yeah, I'm a qualified psychologist. My degrees are back here, but not just that. I'm qualified because of my life, because of what I've been through. I understand. My wife is African, sitting in the bedroom. My children are African, half and half, American and African. This is what I also say. You benefit this in a different way than you do with most elsewhere. I say this. Part of the reason that I do this because I love my people. I love my black people. I love all people on this earth. Doesn't matter the color. I love all people. But as a black man, I have to be willing to stand out and do what's necessary to try and benefit my own people. When you, being an African, you marry a black American, it's not just that you who get the resources from America, he get the resources from Nigeria, which is going to just strengthen y'all financially and build power, but also it allows your children to have the ability to have greater opportunities than they will elsewhere. They're not bonded, they're not confined to anywhere. They could go anywhere around the world that they choose to. They could go and use the resources in America. They could go and use the resources in Africa and build up. You're creating a whole new generation of Africans who do not have to wait on a fucking green card and go through all the shit that we talk about today. Your children already that. They're half and half. They have the ability of everything. They have the citizenship to Nigeria. They have the citizenship to the U.S. So you're not just doing this for you to benefit today and your husband to benefit from having a woman like you, but you're doing it to build a new generation of Africans and Black Americans. You understand that? So this is bigger than us.
Yes, I do.
So this is bigger than us, but we benefit. So, like I said, Chidima, right? Did I say it right?
Yeah.
All right. So definitely it was a pleasure having you here. You are a unique individual. You're a beautiful African sister. The only thing that I would tell you, you're welcome. The only thing that I would tell you is this. If you was raised to already be a traditional wife, and I believe you, especially when you talk about your parents being strict and kept you away from the streets. I believe you. But you should be ready for marriage already, especially if that man that you just said comes along within the next 2, 3, 4 weeks or 2 or 3, 4 months. You should already be ready for marriage. If your parents spent that time making you, there's no reason for you to say that I need to get myself together. That should be out the door. Your identity, you don't find your identity on your own. When ladies go out and say, oh, I want to find my identity, find out who I am, 2 things. You go and have sex with a lot of men and you get a lot of damage psychologically. So now that man got to deal with all these situations now. He got to deal with more than he should have to deal with. You benefit now.
Okay.
Your identity is found in your husband. That's why successful men go for younger women, because they want their wife's identity to be found through them. When you go out and do it on your own, you turn into a person that is going to be contradictory to what your husband desires. That's why I married my wife when she was 20 years old. I was 40 years old. I'm 46. I married my wife when she was 20. When I was 40. Her identity has been found through me and continues to be found through me. We grow together. I didn't love my wife I wasn't in love with my wife when I met her. She wasn't in love with me. I did this. I seen her. I seen her character. I went to her mother, let her know I want to marry her. I want to build on something with her and build something great with her. And we all will benefit from it. She agreed. 5, 6 years later, here we are in Philadelphia, PA, my hometown where I was born and raised. But through them 6 years, our love grew. True love can never die. That's why when these girls get in relationships and they out of love, they in love, that's nothing but lust. You can't fall in love with a person unless you spend decades with that person or years with that person. Real love takes time. It takes time to nurture. That's why you see these people who've been together 60, 50 years or whatever. That love had to grow. The more they spend time with each other, when childbearing, you have your first child, you buy your first home, first this, first that, all that bonds you together closer, and that love continues to grow over the course of time. It's not about being infatuated with a person. It's about finding somebody, say, hey, I look at this person, I like who they are, I like what I see, I like their character, and I think that I can build and grow and be with this person and have my children and move on to life and do what God sent me here to do. You get me?
Yeah, I do.
All right, any last words?
No, it was nice being on this awesome show. I really learned a lot. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. And like I said, when that particular guy come on ringing, make sure you hit us back up on the show so I can get my props and you can tell the whole world. All right?
No problem. Thank you.
All right, Chidima.
Yeah.
Have a good night. All right, good night.
Yeah, good night. Bye. Yeah, bye.
All right, people. Had another beautiful show. I know it's late. This is what we're going to do tomorrow because my schedule permits it. Only when the schedule permits it, we're going to do these things. But this is what we're going to do. Tomorrow we're going to start at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. So that's for my Nigerians. That's, I used to be so great at math. But anyway, that's 9 o'clock. Yeah, 9 o'clock Niger time, 8 o'clock Ghana time. We're going to start tomorrow at 2. Then remember, we're going to be back here on Saturday at 2 o'clock also. Once again, 9 p.m. Niger time, 8 o'clock Ghana time. Sundays, we don't do shows. Sundays is for me to, I need to just get in the Word and meditate and get that relationship with God. Make sure that I'm heading in the right direction, in the right path of life. And the work that I'm doing is truly going to help people to not only benefit them, but benefit his kingdom as he continues to build a new breed of Black men and women, whether it's through this channel or however. But, that's the foremost thing. And Sundays also, I put up on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube what the week's theme is going to be about. So next week's theme is going to be something totally different. I don't really confirm it to Sunday because, I have a lot of ideas going on. There's so many subjects, man. There's going to be no shortage of subjects at all on this show right here. And remember, we start our promo on Saturday. So I look forward to the views going up big time. But like I said, we needed to get at least 2 weeks of a catalog. So when we're doing this promo, that somebody's not just going to watch one video. They're going to have a catalog that you can say, okay, I see what these brothers doing. I see what's going on here. It's consistent. So again, man, I hope y'all enjoyed the show. And I was trying to wait for, she never got back on. She spent like a couple minutes on the show. So we'll see if we can get her back here tomorrow because I see that she had network issues. But anyway, if you guys want to join the show tomorrow, like I said, we're starting a little bit earlier. Send in your request, get you here on the show, and we could talk about it. Because remember, we only got this thing for 2 more days. For 2 more days, just tomorrow, Saturday. After that, we're putting this thing to rest until maybe later on another time. So, because we got too many subjects to talk about. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Follow here on Instagram. Make sure you head over to YouTube and definitely subscribe because we want to get the subscriber base up over there. And make sure you share it with a friend or family member or whoever, even a classmate. Make sure you share it. You talk about the show. so that we could truly make things happen for our African sisters. And like I keep saying, for our brothers, we're going to get to you, but that time is just not now. It's always ladies first. So let the ladies be first, and be patient. You'll get your time. All right. So we're going to get out of here now. And like I said, man, it's been a wonderful show again, wonderful interview. And I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all's support, and continue to share this and talk about it with a friend and family member. All right, guys, I got to get